What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Pancake swap today. Cake, hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Somebody requested this, and I meant to give you a shout out. There's probably several of you who've requested it, but somebody I actually responded to, and I didn't write your name down. I'd give you a shout out, but this one's for you. This one's for all of us here. Looking at the weekly RSI, just getting things started. We're in a very nice trend. Okay, we're in a very nice trend. It's been going on since May of 2023. We've got these higher lows coming in, higher highs even. Perhaps it started way back here. Who knows? But we're in this nice channel up. Beyond all this, which by the way, this is actually a really good look. Beyond all this, at a very basic level, getting overbought at your highs and not getting oversold at your lows, that's a very bullish thing. Getting overbought at your highs and bouncing off the 40 on your lows on the weekly time frame, that's a very bullish thing, you guys. So this thing, absolutely, it's just getting started. It's just getting started, right? Whenever you see this, watch, you see how much you're living in the overboughts and you get these constant reiterations in there. I'm assuming you're going to go through that now, okay, and just see what happened whenever the price was back here. Look, you saw weeks consistently of growing up, right? It wasn't the most explosive, crazy, erratic movements that you saw, but it was more or less productive that whole time. It just continued to move up with phases here and there on a weekly basis. You know, you had a month or so where you consolidated, right? Phases where you consolidate, but still month over month, you were still moving up. I think we're about to enter that zone now. I think we're about to enter that zone here and see more consistent readings in the overbought zone, which would imply months of growth to go from here. If we're going to grow for months, we're likely going to break out of this range, right? We're likely going to break out of this range. And if we're going to break out of the range, well, then I think we can assume to see higher targets. A retracement of this high to this low, I think, will come into effect. So let's measure that. Let's just see where we're going, all right? Talking about the kind of grand scheme of things. Not even the grand scheme of things. The grand scheme would be the end of the cycle, but we'll get there. We'll get there, okay? High to low, you've been consolidating below your 382. Very common to do. Very, very common to do. A lot of cryptos are actually below their 382s, if not even just below their 0.5s right now, and they've been consolidating in their little boxes since 2022. You know, been doing this, so they all look a little bit different, but if you draw a box, it's essentially that they all fit the same, and a lot of cryptos look like they're about to break out, so make no mistake that Cake is one of them. Don't also make no mistake, you guys, if you're holding a coin right now, it's Cake, it's Mana, it's Sandbox, it's whatever, and it's in its box that it's been in for the last couple of years, 3 years now, and you see one coin pop off while the other one is still in its box, don't get discouraged, right? Everything's going to pop its box here in the coming weeks, months, right? Everything's going to break out. They just take their turns. Sometimes everything moves up together. Oftentimes things take their turns. One week it's meme coins pumping. The next week it's DeFi. The next week it's NFT exchanges. I don't know. You know, everything takes their turns. $2.87 right now. Likely when you break above the 382 here, which is at $4.35, 36, let's just say $4.36, likely when you get above $4.36 on a multi-daily closing basis or a weekly closing basis, or yes, even a monthly closing basis, you get above 436 there, you're likely going to not stop until 1056 to 1384. Okay, it's very common when consolidating below your 382 like this to make a rip and stop right at your golden ratio, pull back to your 0.5, find support, pull back to your 382 and find support. But I will say that's the normal thing. That's what I would expect to happen. But I'd like to offer another perspective. A lot of cryptos, XRP, Cardano, XLM, HBAR, they all ripped through their golden ratio. They all consolidated between their 382 or sometimes even up to the 0.5, but they all ripped through their golden ratio and went right to their 886, 786 zone. I'm not anticipating this for Cake. I'm not anticipating this at all for Pancake Swap, but I would say that targets around $19 to $29 are acceptable to consider. Yes, on this breakout move. We're on a monthly time frame, but I would think, you know, the move that I'm talking about, breaking out of this range here, whenever we break out, I'm assuming that that move will come into full maturity by the end of March. I think that this is going to be a relatively quick move. I say quick, you know, it's the middle of February now, so over a month probably before this move comes into full maturity. But where it's going to end, you know, it's a little bit harder to say. I feel very confident that you're going to go between about 1380 and 1056 here. Very confident about that. You can see you had areas of support back here, a little area of resistance right there, right at the golden ratio. And the golden ratio itself is very significant. So I'm quite confident. I would even say I'm so confident that you probably don't reach for 1380. But if you do, you know, 1380, 14, that's the highest that I'm expecting personally. 1056 is a good minimum. And then from there, probably, going into the end of March, going into the beginning of April, maybe even throughout April, we'll pull back to the 0.5 where we found support before. Maybe we pull all the way back to the 382, which is common enough, and then we get the cycle ending finale underway and begin our trek up to new all-time highs. I very much do believe Cake will see new all-time highs. I think $123 is a very subpar minimum target, but it is the minimum target. 451 is a good, I think, maximum target. You could see targets that are above that. I want to see. Let's look. This looks like that. Did you guys see that? That looked like that looks like a what do they call a maxi pad is what it looks like. Cake here. Whatever that crypto is, you got a maxi pad for a symbol there. Number 86. Okay, so it's a low enough market cap, and it's been around for a while, and it's basically an aspect of the biggest crypto exchange that exists, Binance, right? 833 million. Let's just call it 835 to try and make it easier math. $835 million. To see a 10x would be 8.35 billion, right? So a 10x would be 8.35. From there, right? 100x would be $83 billion, right? And 100x would basically be up here. Yeah, I really do think, you guys, I don't assume that it goes higher than this, but I would think genuinely, I meant it, 123 is a piss poor target for this thing. I think that 210 is a better minimum target. 451 is a good maximum target. I don't think this thing will be worth hundreds of billions of dollars by the end of the cycle, but over 100 billion, I could see it. I really could see it. And if it were to be worth hundreds of billions, which who am I to say? I mean, maybe it is. It could go all the way up to 1,000. Look at how perfect that number is. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1,234, all the way up there. I mean, maybe Pancake Swap could see a 400x by the end of the cycle. I'm not thinking so. I think I'm being generous because it's in the top 100 to even consider a 158, almost a 159x from the current price after you're up 42% this month. I think that's generous enough, let alone the minimum target here. This is exactly the coin I'd like to buy, man. This is a coin. I'm just gonna get my big face on the screen real quick and take off the charts for a second. Mind the bedhead, you guys. I just woke up, right? What I like is not a lot of people whenever they get into crypto, they look for coins that they hear can do a 1000x, can do a 600x, and that's great. That's great. A lot of coins can do that. Only some of them do it, right? But what I look for, what I really like to do is find what the minimum target is, what I can see the minimum target being, because then that's how I compare it across the board, and not just a minimum target of like moon boy pie in the sky stuff, but like genuine minimum targets, which I feel like I was doing here by saying 123. I don't even like that as a minimum target, but we'll accept it. It's there. 209 feels like a genuine minimum target to me, and even that is at a 74x, 75x. You guys, the minimum expected growth for the average altcoin from here on out to the end of the cycle, it's something of like a 17x to a 25x, maybe a 30x at best. So when I've got a coin that's in the top 100, that's been in the top 100, it's been a relevant coin over basically its whole life, and it's basically attributed to the success of Binance too, right? It's not directly correlated, but kind of at the same time, yes, with Binance, the biggest crypto exchange. Whenever I see something like that, where it's piss poor minimum target is at a 41x, that is enticing as hell. That means if it does the worst that I could imagine it doing, and obviously you never know, it could not see new all-time highs, but I don't see that happening, man. Something like this will definitely see new all-time highs. That's awesome. A 43x, man. That's there are coins that I hold that their maximum expected targets are like 50x from here. You know what I mean? Like that's phenomenal. I might have to swap some coins out to buy some Pancake Swap, man. And then the true minimum target I think is a good 75x, $209 right there. With the potential, I don't know if it's going to happen, but the potential to see something over a 100x. I will say, just because you get above 210 doesn't mean you're automatically privied to this 451 area. It's very common, and this is what makes it tricky. It's very common to go just above the 1414 or even deep above it. You could see over 100x without even hitting the 1618 is all I'm trying to say. So hard to say where it's going to top off, but I feel very strongly that it will be between 210 and 451. I feel less strongly that it could go higher than that, but I accept it as a possibility. I genuinely do. It really could. If you don't think it could, you're going to miss on that opportunity. I don't even think it could, but if I accept it as a possibility and things start to look like we're going to go up there toward the end of the cycle, it's like August or July and we're here, I would start to believe that we could see these targets. You know what I mean? So be open, right? Otherwise, you'll miss the most that you could get out of it. And then the minimum target, 123, also be open for that. I don't expect that 123 is where we're going to stop. But if you know, if it's July and we're only here, if we're going into September, October, and we're just reaching like this, and then that's it, we're in October, November, and we're right here. Absolutely, I would believe that is the high for the cycle. But all that to say, getting back to the relative stuff, I think Pancake Swap looks like it's on its next phase up, right? The weekly RSI looking phenomenal, definitely looking phenomenal here. Bouncing off the 40 looks good. Over the weeks, over the months to come, I expect some growth. On the daily aspect, it looks like you might be finding some turbulence here at about 281 from a high to a low. I mean, you're at 281 now. You found your resistance at 334. Okay, perfect. So you ripped all the way through. I know exactly what's going to happen, you guys. You ready? You ready? I got a crystal ball. I'm rubbing it right now. I'm rubbing that magic little ball right now. It loves it whenever I rub it. You hit that 786 on your first attempt, right from your low. You rip all the way through your golden ratio. You hit the 786. When you find resistance like this, oftentimes you do go below the 618. That'll confirm it, but I think you're going to. I need to make this video so that it's at least somewhat relevant. Oftentimes when you hit the 786, you pull all the way back to the 382. So watch you do that. That was a previous area of support here, kind of a relative area of resistance here, even around there was support there. At least the 0.5 is where you'd go to. So you're at 276 now. I would expect 226 or more likely $1.92, something just below $2 is going to come into action here. Probably either today or tomorrow or by the end of this week. And then going into next week, we'll start moving up again. Okay, so if you're looking to buy, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're looking to buy Cake, I think, and I'm very, very strongly convinced, you could at least get an 18% discount, if not a 30% discount from here at 276. So again, the buy range is $2.26 to $1.92. I'm expecting something closer to $1.92. Just because I'm expecting that doesn't mean it has to happen. Watch it go right to like $2.12. It doesn't even break below $2, right? If I was trying to buy this range, I would start buying above this range. That's how I buy. I like to buy above where I think it's going to go because then I'm always in. All I have to do then is endure a little bit of downside, and then I get the meat of the move to the upside. You know what I mean? And then if it doesn't go as low as I think, well, then at least I still got in, and I can catch that move too. That's just my style, not financial advice. That's just my style. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. This thing looks like it wants to rip over the weeks and months, over the days, over the hours. It probably comes back a little bit, but you could invalidate that. Oh man, you could invalidate that if you were to invalidate that. Get back above that high. Get back above that high, man. Close any day above 384, and there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to 650 and higher, probably to 10 bucks and beyond, right? Close any given day above 384, and I'm invalidated. Move price above this price, and before you move down here, and that will invalidate me as well. All right, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.